All right, we working on a 2005 Dodge Ram Hemi 5.7 liter V8 Boss 16 spark plugs, changing out the alternator. We're having some starting issues. Every day we jump it, let it run, but the next day the battery would not have enough juice in it to start the vehicle. So I figured we'd start making some videos. First thing, disconnect the negative terminal. Take that loose. Now here's some important things that a lot of people do not mention in their videos. The socket size that you need up front. Now one of the first most important things, 13 millimeter. It's 2 bolts, one here and one on the other side. First thing you're going to do, the tensioner pulley is down there where I'm pointing at. You're going to take the belt off. We already did that. And after you get the belt off, it's tough. Unloose the electrical connector for the alternator. It's a little pigtail. I already pulled it. Let me find it so I can show you guys. And then there's one more wire, which I believe is a 13 millimeter. Take that off. Put your screw somewhere you ain't gonna lose it. Now let's get this boy off of here. All right, well, comes to find out that the bolt on the right by the air conditioner is a 13 millimeter, and the bolt on the left is a 15 millimeter. So we just want to get this last one off. Use the force. Urgh. All right, some more stuff I just found out. You know, this is my first time doing an alternator on the Ram. Okay, there's a bracket on the right-hand side by the air conditioner, which is in front of the bolt that takes out the alternator. If you can look, the bolt is back here. Get down in there. Yeah, so there's a bracket. It's 4 13 millimeter bolts. We're still using the same size, 13 and 15. 15 on the right, 15 on the left, 15 on the left, 13 millimeter on the right. All right, I'm gonna get these last 3 out. I done took these 4 out. When doing these, they were really tight, so I had to put some PB Blaster on there. Always use the 6-point socket, because the 12 points, even though they're designed not to round off the nut, for some reason they always end up rounding off the nut and tripping the nut. So I prefer to use 6-point. So let's get this bracket off. And then we've got one more 13, but I need a deep socket. So more take so I can tell them it's a 15. Here we go. Now comes to find out, you know, I'm finding this out as I go. All of the bolts up here and the screws and the bolts and the nuts that hold on this mounting bracket are 13. Both bolts and nut for the alternator are 15. So whatever the case is, you're going to need a 13 millimeter and a 15 millimeter. But once you get the bracket off, just like the side on the left, the nut is a 15 millimeter. Deep socket. I got all the bolts out. Now we ready to jar the alternator out. It's a little stuck in place because of corrosion and metal or whatever. So I got a big screwdriver and just pry on it and it'll come right out. It should just come up. It's a little stubborn, but I'm gonna get in there. Almost. It's like trying to raise the Titanic. And voila! She is out of there. If I can get it. Alright, in the meantime, all the bolts and nuts and whatever I took out, I like to spray them up with a little WD-40. Spray down here. you know, just make sure everything goes back on easily. All right, so we got the new alternator right here. Comes with a lifetime warranty, which is my favorite thing. But I figure, shit, this alternator lasted about 15 years. This is a 2005. So I'll probably won't see the next time this needs to be changed. All right. Get that harness out of the way. Get that pigtail so you can find it. All right. Slides right on. Well, almost. Where's my big screwdriver? Ow. Watch your fingers. I'm going to put the right side in first to get it lined up. Then I'll get the left side in. Always hand thread first to make sure nothing gets cross threaded, and that's why I oiled everything up nice. All right, now I'm gonna tighten these bolts down. All right, we got a technical difficulty. We got the two 15mm bolts on here like that. Now, time to put on the mounting bracket, 13mm. All right, we done got the alternator back on, all four of the 13mm bolts, the two 15mm bolts, all connected. Now we're on to the electrical. All right, first we got the little pigtail connector. You can go ahead, slide that on, get that out the way. Tuck that back there. And we got this little electrical component. $13mm, of course. Get that on there. I like to remember, hand tighten all of these first. Hand tighten. Make sure they're not cross-threaded. All right. And lastly, hopefully you didn't take the belt all the way off, because it's a nightmare. Just get this belt back on here. All right, we got the belt on. We got the pigtail on. We got the other wire on. Everything is good and tight. Now, reconnect the negative battery terminal and we are good. You're fucked up now. Got my good joggers. I got on my good joggers, my gray ones. All right, go fire her up. Well, obviously we need a jump, but that's how you change the alternator.